This one's coming from Sherry. She's curious about starting a business, and the requirements and tax reporting system. Business person is here, so that's kind of a general. In general, I would say this about starting a business: it's not difficult. There is a procedure, there's a process. If we're talking about setting up a company, you have some options there. Maybe we use that as an example.
Yeah, you need to understand what kind of company you are going to do, and please consult an attorney that specializes in that, because there are a lot of different ways to set up a company for your needs specifically. Certain companies can be set up different ways for tax purposes. We are just realtors, so when we get this, we do get this question a lot. We just refer them to Ryan because that is his expertise in setting up a company. But it is not hard to set up a company in this country.
No, I can elaborate on that. So you have a lot of options. There's really, I'd say Belize is a flexible place to do business, because yes, we have local companies, what we would call LTDs, limited companies, Belizean limited companies, which would be a traditional English style company with shareholders and directors and AGMs and minutes and the like. Belize is also a flexible jurisdiction where you can bring a foreign company, what we call an overseas company, to be registered to do business here. So there would be no problem with a Canadian company, for example. There's a process and a procedure. You could register that Canadian company, and in this example, as an overseas company with our company's registry. And when that procedure is complete, that Canadian company is treated as a resident company. What does that give that foreign overseas Canadian company? Well, it gives an even playing field. Essentially, that company is now again a resident of Belize, and that means it gets treated no differently than a local company. There's no benefits, there's no detrimental effect either. It is the same. Some of those benefits for once you do register an overseas or foreign company here in Belize, well, first of all, that's called setting up a branch. It doesn't change the composition of that company. It's still a Canadian company. It just happens to be operating here in Belize. Some of the benefits that come with that process, that registration, the right to own land in Belize, because a foreign company must register with our company's registry before it can take title to land. Certainly has the right to conduct business in Belize post-registration. It has the right to apply for and hire foreigners. Basically apply for a work permit. That's also something a resident company can do. On the flip side, there are responsibilities for doing business in Belize. Any responsibilities that I'm sure you're aware of?
My wife is the bookkeeper.
There it is.
Of all
dollars and cents,
yes.
Huh?
Yes.
The Belize IRS tax filing system.
Tax liability, of course. So if you're, again, if we're sticking to the Canadian company example, and that Canadian company has been registered to do business here, and now is generating revenue in this country, you have to pay tax. There's a tax liability. We're not a tax-free jurisdiction.
No.
There are also other requirements. Responsibilities probably is a better term to use than liabilities, but a responsibility to register with our Social Security. If you're an employer, there's another one. Depending on where you operate, you may require a trade license. For a trade license, it's a tax to operate a business within a municipality. We have that right here in Belize City. Do you have that in Hopkins Village?
Not yet.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
It is coming.
It is coming because it's not necessarily city-based, because there are villages in this country, including Placencia Village, where they have a trade licensing regime. A tax that is, again, a tax on operating in that particular municipality. So thanks, Sherry, for the question about doing business.
Want to find out more information about how you can start your life here in beautiful Belize? Then send us an email at info@lawbelize.bz.